What are qualified small business corporation shares? To meet Revenue Canada's stated position for corporate shares to be considered as qualified small business corporation shares, all the following conditions must be met. A. At the time of sale, it was a share of the capital stock of a small business corporation, and it was owned by you, your spouse or common law partner, or a partnership of which you are a member. B. Throughout that part of the 24 months immediately before the share was disposed of, while the share was owned by you, a partnership of which you are a member, or a person related to you, it was a share of a Canadian-controlled private corporation, and more than 50% of the fair market value of the assets of the corporation were 1. Used mainly in an active business carried on primarily in Canada by the Canadian-controlled private corporation or by a related corporation. 2. Certain shares or debts of connected corporations. 3. A combination of these two types of assets. And C. Throughout the 24 months immediately before the share was disposed of, no one owned the share other than you, a partnership of which you were a member or person related to you. Generally, when a corporation has issued shares after June 13, 1988, either to you, to a partnership of which you are a member, or to a person related to you, a special situation exists. The Canada Revenue Agency actually considers that, immediately before the shares were issued, an unrelated person owned them. As a result, to meet the holding period requirement, the shares cannot have been owned by any person other than you, a partnership of which you are a member, or a person related to you for a 24-month period that begins after the shares were issued and that ends when you sold them. However, this rule does not apply to shares issued in any of the following situations. A. As payment for other shares. B. For disposition of shares after June 17, 1987, as payment of a stock dividend. And C. In connection with a property that you, a partnership of which you were a member, or a person related to you, disposed of to the corporation that issued the shares. The property disposed of must have consisted of either 1. All or most, 90% or more, of the assets used in an active business carried on either by you, the members of the partnership of which you are a member, or the person related to you, or 2. An interest in a partnership where all or most, being 90% or more, of the partnership's assets were used in an active business carried on by the members of the partnership. If you are engaged in a business transaction involving qualified small business corporation shares, or otherwise undertaking corporate planning and transactional work, or requiring legal advice thereon, please feel free to contact our law firm and see how we might be able to be of assistance to yourself. Thank you.